Good evening. That was one of my personal favourites from the new album. I hope it's one of yours. Thank you.
Nice and ignorant. How much of that do you have to listen to? Just about that much. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a band called Goddo, Goddo, out of Canada. Three-piece rock and roll outfit. I don't know if they disbanded, but things kind of went to pot in the 90s, but saw them a bunch in the 80s. They toured with just about everybody. I saw them, I think, twice with Toronto. Wasn't the world's biggest Toronto fan, but I would go in and watch Goddo warm up and move along. But yeah, great band. I worked in a couple of clubs across the city, and one of the rock clubs we used to get some pretty good acts in on a regular basis. I would play this song and had a lot of people interested in it, actually. So yeah, it was interesting to bring a track to the people and have them actually enjoy it. So that's kind of my goal today. So music, man. Of course, we've had the recent debacle with Spotify choosing to get rid of Neil Young over Joe Rogan and his BS over vaccines. So that's been a rock and roll story. I'm not really sure. Joni Mitchell has joined suit, and she's pulled her stuff off Spotify as well. So I don't know who else is going to do that, but it's an interesting position to take. I prefer Tidal anyway. I know a lot of people use Amazon or Apple. I don't do anything Apple, so yeah, Tidal works great. Tidal has high def, so their sound is really good, and they do give a little bit more to the artists, which, I mean, they're I think the highest payer to the artists, which still isn't a lot, but it's something anyway. So it's a start. Where else are we here? I guess I don't know if any of you guys are guys, ladies, of course, as well, are Van Halen fans. If you're into any of that, we've got a of course, she's Valerie Bertinelli. Where are you going? Oh, wrote a book, and my wife's reading it, of course. So I mean, I'm getting blueberry cake that Eddie Van Halen used to like. Apparently, it was one of his favorite breakfasts. So we've been my wife's been making that, and just really interesting how we've been discussing all things Van Halen since she started reading this book. From the 80s and 90s when they were playing, and Wolfgang's birth, and Eddie playing the intro to Valerie's favorite song, and sneaking it in during his solos and stuff. Okay, let him move. Here. Yeah, you can go. I can get it over. You don't like closed doors. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. So to have my wife, who's basically a country fan, want to discuss all things Van Halen is a dream in my world. But yeah, so that's a little bit of my life. What else is going on? Cheap Trick and Rod Stewart are touring. I think Cheap Trick is, I hate to say supporting Rod Stewart, I guess, on the road. Guns N' Roses is going over to Europe, and I believe Mainskin out of Italy are warming for them. I know who was touring. Was it Journey? Journey was touring with Billy Idol. Billy Idol got sick, and now Toto has moved in. So Journey's touring with Toto now. And the Foo Fighters are making a horror movie. So they actually released, I guess, a thrash metal song, they're calling it, March of the Insane. It's pretty interesting. I mean, if you're into that at all, check it out. The Foos are always doing something a little off center, so it's always interesting to see what they're up to. Speaking of Van Halen, there's a band out of California. I think, no, maybe they're not out of California. They're out of the U.S. anyway, called Nerd Halen. And the guitarist named Caleb, who basically just emulates Eddie to a T. Hal Sparks is the lead singer. I don't have the other guys' information in front of me, but I mean, it's 4 guys that kind of dress up as nerds and play the Van Halen stuff. They just did a Monsters of Rock cruise. Alice Cooper was another band on there. Not much else going on. It's kind of a quiet time. There's a lot of other things going on, but when it comes to music, there's not a lot. What I should do is dig through these comments a little bit, because some of you fine folks have replied to a few of my comments, and I want to see what it's all about. And if I see Elon Musk's face again, I'm going to puke. The brown M&M's analogy. There you go. And there it is. So Bart Berry commented that he was excited to watch my video. I inspired him. I'm not sure what video that was. Oh, the Happy New Year video. Oh, well, thanks, Bart. Appreciate that. I used to know a guy named Bart Bailey. Yeah. Ios Tillum commented, 100% agreed. Love the video on Ghost not being metal. I may do a video on that, but I'm going to once again clarify my opinion of Ghost. The whole video came to be after a conversation that I had with some friends who are rock aficionados. So Ghost came up, and I mean, Ghost have been admired by a lot of bands, Metallica being one of them, and Darcy's a Metallica fan. So, I mean, Ghost was, I don't know if it was by themselves. I mean, Ghost is a design band, right? There's a person who writes all of their stuff, designs their shows, their whole 9 yards, and puts that out there. That being said, I enjoy a lot of their music. I have some of it, and I listen to it regularly. But I mean, don't give me a Rick Astley CD or an ABBA CD and tell me it's metal either, because it's not. I mean, is it hard rock? Is it? Yeah, sure it is. But it's, I don't think it's metal. And you know what? At the end of the day, I guess that maybe is just my opinion. If you want to call it metal, if you want to call it disco, go ahead. You know, I mean, as long as people are enjoying the music and listening to the music and buying the music, that's all that matters. Yeah, that's my Vincenzo. And of course my comments on some politics stuff that I just won't even get into. A couple of shorts that I've done. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a little bit of fun. So I'm going to keep going on these. I'll go through these videos and just try to respond to the comments as I can. And you know, there's nothing more frustrating than going on to someone's YouTube channel and trying to find out some information or making a comment and you get nothing in response. You know, so you see a lot of my stuff has been sitting for a while, and I've just started acting on it in the last few months. So I'm going to keep doing that. And what I'm going to do from going forward here, it's what, the 16th? Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, if you celebrate that BS. Every day's a love day. Yeah, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to put out a short, let you guys know what's coming up. Then you can tune in if you're interested. I mean, a 1 minute short takes me 30 seconds to do. You know, can blast them out on my phone after I record them. they're, you know, after you record a minute's worth of a short, it takes very little time to pop it up there. So I'll do that. I'll give it a little time, and you'll know what the topic is, and we'll go ahead and we'll talk straight Metallica, or maybe we'll get into some Guns N' Roses. You know, maybe we'll get into some David Crosby and his new stuff, or who knows, you know. A lot of new interesting. I try to, every morning I listen to something new. So I mean, I've been doing LA Guns, I've been doing Gatto, I've been doing Danko Jones, Nashville Pussy, a lot of Canadian stuff, but then a lot of kind of stuff that isn't, you know, it's not the Rolling Stones, the Guns N' Roses, the Van Halen, you know, which, I mean, I can always turn to, but trying to expose a little more unique music and picking up albums as well. So I've got a trip to Record Store Day, which is almost every other day. Got a couple online that I'm going to buy. That's a pricier venture, but there's a couple of good record stores around here that have some stuff. So pick those up. I managed to get Janis Joplin's Pearl the last time, so hopefully my luck continues. Anyway, folks, I'm going to take this minute to say goodbye. Love you guys. I hope everything's going well where you are. I hope everybody's okay. Getting through this is one thing. Getting through it with a little bit of music helps a lot. Peace, rock and roll, and love.